the only reason we can't pass through mirrors is because our reflection is stopping us? Well, in this hypothesis, we have first to understand how mirrors actually work. Mirrors have been around since the beginning of time. The early human race looked into a dark pool of water, and the reflection was mystical. Basically, surfaces that are plain and smooth reflect almost all the light that hits it, with only very little light being scattered. Can be a mirror. When photons, rays of light, coming from an object, your smiling face for example, strike the smooth surface of a mirror, they bounce back at the same angle. Your eyes see the reflected photons as a mirror image. The mirror image is reversed, which you can easily see if you stand in front of a mirror with your shirt with words on it. The words on the shirt appear backwards in the mirror. So going back, what if the only reason we can't pass through mirrors is because our reflection is stopping us? Could mirrors be our windows to parallel universes? Robin Williams would love this poetry, but this does not validate into a theory. The images in a mirror are adequately explained without reference to parallel universes. There is nothing to the image of yourself that might prevent you from proceeding into the mirror. It is merely electromagnetic radiation reflected back towards you. But electromagnetic radiation from the sun, roughly in front of you for example, does not prevent you from walking forwards. The solid character of the mirror itself does explain the fact that you cannot proceed into it. Imagine a clean, big, boring wall. You have heard that you can never get past a wall by going through it, if you're not a bulldozer. You can verify this theory if you have your doubts. Good? So, how could you know what's past the part of the wall that you see? You begin to muse. Could this wall be a gateway to a parallel universe? Are only the particles on the surface belonging to our universe and are those that lie beyond matter from a parallel universe? This is certainly a possibility. It is possible that you are being prevented from communicating with a parallel universe behind the wall by the wall, of course. Mirrors work the same way. A mirror is a reflecting wall, nothing more. You can always believe that walls are the gates to parallel universes, this being an unfalsifiable, though crazy hypothesis. Let's look at the Lunar Liquid Mirror Telescope. Instead of using a solid mirror to observe the stars, NASA instead opted to use a liquid mirror, which is much more reflective and effective than a solid telescopic mirror. It's like a hyper-reflective pond. According to the logic, the parallel self physically blocks all of the attempts at assessing his universe and he perfectly mirrors my movements, correct? So, if we stand on this liquid mirror, our feet and our parallel self's feet will touch each other oppositely. And so, if our theory is true, we should be able to stand on it. But of course, instead of becoming Jesus, we'll sink into the liquid. In sum, this question suggests of having parallel universes, however with no reference. But this does not deny that parallel universes exist. And last but not least, as the idea of parallel universes, going back to the idea that space-time is flat. The number of possible particle configurations in multiple universes will be limited to 10 to the 10 to the 122nd distinct possibilities, to be exact. So, with an infinite number of cosmic patches, the particle arrangements within them must repeat, infinitely, many times over. This means there are infinitely many parallel universes. Cosmic patches exactly the same as ours, containing someone exactly like you, as well as patches that differ by just one particle's position, patches that differ by two particles' positions, and so on down to patches that are totally different from ours. Famously, physicist Stephen Hawking's last paper before his death also dealt with the multiverse. The paper was published in May 2018, just a few months after Hawking's demise. About the theory, he told Cambridge University in an interview published in the Washington Post, "We are not down to a single unique universe, but our findings imply a significant reduction of the multiverse to a much smaller range of possible universes." In science fiction, Marvel Comics and DC Comics feature stories set in parallel universes that are part of the multiverse. Stranger Things, 2016 to present, is a science fiction horror television series that begins with the investigation of a young boy's disappearance in a small town. The series includes discussion of an alternate dimension called the Upside Down. Our universe might be really, really big, but finite. Or it might be infinitely big. Both cases, says physicist Brian Greene, are possibilities. But if the latter is true, so is another posit. There are only so many ways matter can arrange itself within that infinite universe. Eventually, matter has to repeat itself and arrange itself in similar ways. So, if the universe is infinitely large, it is also home to infinite parallel universes. Does that sound confusing? Try this. Think of the universe like a deck of cards. Now, if you shuffle that deck, there's just so many orderings that can happen. Greene says, if you shuffle that deck enough times, the orders will have to repeat. Similarly, with an infinite universe and only a finite number of complexions of matter, the way in which matter arranges itself has to repeat. Greene, the author of The Elegant Universe and the Fabric of the Cosmos, tackles the existence of multiple universes in his latest book, The Hidden Reality: Parallel Universes of the Deep Laws of Cosmos. Recent discoveries in physics and astronomy, he says, point to the idea that our universe may be one of many universes populating a grander multiverse. It seems safe to say, though, that any meaning and purpose will have been found in ourselves, not in the mirrors, not in the stars. The cosmic end times will bring no day of judgment, no redemption. All we can expect is the total obliteration of whatever universe remains and any intelligence that still abides there.